Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare again with you on the 22nd of January 2025, joined as usual by psychic medium and remote viewer Liz Cross. How are we doing today, Liz?
Awesome. Just don't forget, we do have a backup channel. The CTT channel is our backup. You need to subscribe. I've had channels taken down before with all the stuff we're doing now, like lots of political, lots of geopolitical stuff. You need to make sure you're just subscribed there. Also, it's free energy healing, so go check it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. We're going to start with Vivek Ramaswamy, who suddenly announced that he is leaving the Department of Government Efficiency, which he was co-chairman or co-whatever with Elon Musk, and he is saying that he wants to run for governorship of his home state of Ohio, I believe. So we need to ask him why he's doing that. Is it for the reasons stated, or are there other reasons why? So let's grab Vivek. Quite like this guy, actually. He speaks very well. He's very, very clever.
Okay. All right. I've got him here. He's very neurotic.
Oh, is he?
First impression, yeah, very neurotic. Stays busy all the time. Never a dull moment, never not working. He works from sun up to sundown. I mean, this guy is a powerhouse. That's what I'm getting as I tune into his energy. I don't know much about him. What would you like to know?
Well, the first question is why has he decided to leave the Department of Government Efficiency, which he shared the leadership role with Elon Musk? Why is he leaving?
Why did you decide to leave the Department of Government Efficiency? I can't stay there. It's impossible.
What makes it impossible for him to stay there, in his opinion?
What makes it impossible for you to stay there, in your opinion? I feel like a traitor.
A traitor to who?
A traitor to who? Federal workers and the American people.
Okay, but when he agreed to do this job, which he shares with Elon Musk, surely he knew what the MO was, what he was being going to be expected to do.
Surely you knew what you were going to be expected to do. I didn't think it was going to be as harsh. I thought we were going to take a very soft approach. I don't want to be responsible for putting thousands of people out of work.
Ah. Okay. Has his association or his working relationship with Elon Musk, did that have any bearing on him leaving?
Uh, did that have any bearing on your leaving your associate? Oh, yeah, he doesn't like Elon.
Okay, but again, if he didn't like Elon, why did he agree to take a post with Elon?
He didn't like Elon. Why did you agree to take a post with Elon? It's what needed to be done at the time. Did you know Elon very well? No, he did not know Elon very well. Did Trump just say, "I'm putting you two together"? Basically, were you asked? Not really. Not really. He was just told, "Oh, I'm putting you two together." So let's ask Trump. Were you advised to put Vivek with Elon? Yes. Why? So it doesn't look like, so what? I'm sorry. Trump is very busy when I'm trying to talk to him at the moment. I don't know what he's doing. He's very busy. Uh, so what? Why did you put Vivek and Elon together? So they look more efficient. You can't just have Elon running the department by himself. Are you surprised by Vivek leaving? Yes, he is. He is surprised. Do you know why he left? Not really. He just told me he was leaving. Do you know that he and Elon do not get along? No, Trump does not know that. So let's go back to Vivek. Did you tell anyone that you don't get along with Elon? No, he kept that quiet. But that is one of the factors as to why he's leaving.
Right. Yeah, I don't. I had the opinion that he was put there as part of cut. This is just my opinion, but it was fairly obvious that when you have a personality and a persona as Elon, he was going to run everything. But they didn't. They didn't really want that, which is why they put somebody else with him, so it would be a joint. But I don't think Elon wants anybody actually working with him running this at all. I think in the same way as he doesn't with these corporations. I mean, he runs them all, as an autocrat. So why would he want anybody? I think this was just, soft cover that perhaps, I don't know, was supposed to work for a while and then fall apart. Let's ask Elon.
Okay. What would you like to know?
Right. What does he think of Vivek leaving the Department of
What do
Government?
you think of Vivek leaving? Ooh, he's rubbing his hands together as if now I've got it all to myself.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
Do you like Vivek? Yeah, he does. Do you know that he doesn't like you? No, and he doesn't care. That's exactly what he just said to me. And he doesn't care. But do you have any inkling that he doesn't like you? No, not at all. He went very quietly. Did you try to work together? Yes. We laid out a plan and tasks of who's getting the chop and where and what cuts we're making. Did you think at any time he looked uncomfortable? Oh, most of the time Vivek looked uncomfortable. Um, did you did you think that he would stay the course? No, he did not. Was that the plan all along? It wasn't the plan all along, but somewhere was it prior to inauguration, or did you know that this was he figured it was going to happen? He just didn't feel like Vivek was up to the job. I listen, we got this in our pro. Look how many hits we've got this week. Psychic hits from all of these probes we've been doing, right? Here comes the AI, right? Here comes the job cuts. Here comes the, whatever else is coming, the Bitcoin that's going into Federal Reserve. We probed that. We also did a Silk Road probe, Mr. Shakespeare, that you put together. And
Yeah.
Trump was seriously considering pardoning the guy who did Silk Road. Look what's happened. That's come into fruition,
Ross Ulbricht,
right?
and I'm glad they have pardoned him because that was such another setup. I mean, that was so bad. Um, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
Actually,
what.
Liz, there is an overarching which I can now talk about because it's after the event, but there is another. Your biggest hit actually goes back 18 months at least, if not a bit longer, but certainly for the last 18 months, possibly 2 years, but I'll just say 18 months for now. I've asked you many times off camera probe, well, when I say many, quite a few times over the last 18 months, up until about 2 or 3 months ago. And I've asked you, is Trump going to be the next US president? And you said yes, but you never wanted it released. You never wanted it put out on a video. Um, but kudos to you. You got this one 100% right. You've never, ever, ever changed from that position as far as I'm aware. Um, Sometimes you've you've tried to backpedal it after you said it because you almost feel embarrassed by saying it, but you are 100% right. I mean, we've never ever you never wanted it put out on probes, but you did say it and you're 100% correct. So
And you asked a lot.
oh, I did ask a lot, and I was happy for you to just tell me off camera, and I never put it out on the Discord. I never, I mean, I never put it out anywhere. But so yeah, that was probably one of your biggest hits that most people just don't know about because it's actually been going on a very long time. You got this a long time ago, at least 18 months ago that I can remember. So well done, you.
Well, thank
Right.
you. So it's interesting here because he knew Vivek wasn't up to the job. He thinks he wanted to do a soft, he just said to me, he wanted to take a soft approach. Why such a hard line, firing, mass firing? Let me ask Vivek this. Did you think that they were going to be fired, or did you think that they were going to be made redundant, given unemployment? He thought they were going to be given unemployment. Now, of course, with one of the executive orders that has been signed that you can just fire, it's almost like a no reason state. I live in one of those where you can just fire somebody without a reason. You don't have to really follow protocol. Some companies do because they like to, it makes them look good. And of course, they want to avoid any lawsuits. But at the end of the day, you can just fire people in a lot of these states for no reason whatsoever. Maybe you don't like the look of them. So let's ask this question. Is that what you guys are intending to do? Oh, yeah, it's already started. How many thousands of jobs at the moment? I'm asking Elon, do you have in mind? What is the number at the moment that you have in mind of firing or making people unemployed? Whoa, whoa. It's a big number. 600,000.
Okay.
That is a big
Do
number.
you, let's ask Elon this. If that was to be the number or anywhere near it or above it, it doesn't really matter. But do you think that these departments, do you think that will run just as efficient or more efficient with less staff?
Do you think that these departments will run more efficient or less efficient with less staff? More efficient. But how are you going to do this with this amount of people? They're using AI. I knew it. I knew it. And we got that. We got that a
Yeah,
few months ago.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, as we've got in that previous probe, AI will take over so many so-called white-collar jobs because you're just following, insurance and accountancy, lawyers, all of those. They will all disappear by the wayside. And most of the administrative stuff probably could be done by AI as well because they're following rules. They're just following rules. If AI knows the rules, it can apply them. AI can't think for itself or anything like that, but it can be programmed to do all of this. The AI, for example, and bear in mind the US tax code is the most complicated in the world. But
Oh God.
no, I know, and I'm not saying that'll be
It
one of,
is.
it's not going to be one of the first ones that will be attacked. No, it won't. But I mean, if you have the entire US tax code uh, which is basically a large database, then AI can refer to it all the time. It can pull it out, with these computers, and a lot of the IRS agents wouldn't need to be around anymore. I mean, there's so many. One of the problems with government is it just gets bigger and bigger and more bloated, and they invent I mean, and you need somebody like this to come through and wield a huge, great big axe on it. Now, what we've got to look at is the human cost of all of this, because there's a lot of people here that, can't really be retrained into anything. What's going to happen to them? 600,000 employees out of, I don't know how many the US federal government employs. Uh, do we know? Have we any idea?
I'll just look it up. Government employees. Employees are there. Oh, just over 3 million,
Okay,
which is
so we're looking at, yes, we're
1.87 of the
looking at what,
civilian workforce. Sorry.
20% cut. Well, that's not that bad. I mean, you know, with my business hat on, I mean, it's not that bad. I
Hmm.
mean, he cut 90% out of Twitter, and Twitter runs a lot better now, so yeah, yeah, it
But it's
probably
the
probably is
there's
bloated a lot more than 20%. So 20% is being is being generous. Now, will that affect the US government going forward? What political fallout will there be because of this? Or will
ooh,
a lot of people, that
What political fallout will there be because of this? So I think there's going to be lawsuits. I
right.
think unfair dismissal, there's going to be lawsuits. And I just feel this the US government is going to be tied up financially, paying for these lawsuits. There are going to be a lot of lawsuits. For example, what I'm getting from Spirit is that where all these people were hired for diversity and diversity jobs, or, that was their focal point, and now they've been fired, they're going to come back with a claim of unfair dismissal. That was the job I was hired for. Now you've gotten rid of that job. But the problem is he hasn't made them redundant. He has fired them.
Okay.
And so this is where we're getting into there's going to be lawsuits. I do
Okay,
feel
but I
there's
mean,
going to
if they're
be
if
mass
okay, but
lawsuits.
all right, but if you're fired, you're fired. You've gone, you've left the building. Now, the most you can do is have a claim against the US government. I mean, you've got to then sue your ex-employer, which happens to be the US government. So, you're gone, you're not there anymore, you're not getting a paycheck, and now your only form of redress is, if you want to, is to sue the US government. Now, I don't know, we don't know what percentage of those will, and I'm sure there'll be some, you know, bloodthirsty lawyers that think they can do some sort of class action.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got. It's going to be class action style.
Yeah,
What
it
percentage?
doesn't mean it's gonna win, and it doesn't mean that you're gonna get a big payout even if you do win, because the class action might earn, might win, might survive. It depends, of course. It depends where these lawsuits end up on which circuit district and things like that. Um,
I'm getting roughly what percentage of those federal employees will join a lawsuit? I'm getting 40%. I think 40% will join what I'm getting is a class action lawsuit or several class action lawsuits. There are some lawyers they're rubbing their hands together. This is the gravy train for them.
of
This
course.
is what they
Yeah,
live for,
of course.
and that's what they're going to do. Now, the big problem, obviously, the other big problem is what's going to happen to these people. Now, there's talk on the Discord, and for those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about, you have to join the Patreon. It's only a few dollars a month. God, there's so much information there. Like, really, you don't want to miss out. If you want to join, it's patreon.com/remote viewing and beyond. But as we're going forward with these mass layoffs, these mass firings, and this isn't just about the federal employees, this is about going forward. We keep getting the information. The jobs are not going to be as available going out into 2040, 2050, right? There's going to be mass unemployment that looks like they're going to bring in some sort of universal basic income. But what is going to happen to the healthcare system? How will people that have no access to a job, how will they, because most of the time, for those of you outside of the USA, Mr. Shakespeare, I know you know this, you get your health care through your employer, and you do pay, I don't think it's very much compared to living in a, a country with a national health service and paying really high taxes. I think it works out to be about the same, but that's just my opinion. That's from my personal observation. It doesn't mean that's the same for everyone, but what is going to happen? So let's bring in the founding fathers here. What is going to happen with the healthcare system in the US? Is it going to remain private? Yes, it will remain private. Okay. So how are these people going forward in the future that do not have access to employers? They're not having, there's no jobs really available. They're ending up on universal basic income. What will happen to them with regards to getting health care. And what came out just now was they will end up on a government health care program. Part of their universal basic income will have to pay for it. Are there going to be high, I forgot the word. What is it where you have to pay so much and then they'll
Oh,
cover the
deductible,
rest?
a deductible.
Deductible, thank you. Is it going to be a high deductible? Yeah, it's going to be about a $5,000 what I'm getting deductible. Um, but the people on universal basic income, is it going to be Medicaid? No, it is not going to be Medicaid. So Medicaid, as you know, Mr. Shakespeare, because I know you used to live here, Medicaid is where the government covers your health care. Is it going to be like Medicare? It is going to be a bit like Medicare, right? Is it going to be quite expensive? The initial payments are not going to be expensive to join this government. And we have government health care now, right? Because we have Obamacare. So is it going to be joining the Obamacare system? It's going to be like joining the Obamacare system, but slightly different. So, I mean, that's where we are. And for those people that have a job, are they going to be forced on the Obamacare system? No, their employers will still keep paying for their health care, and then other people will pay privately for their health care.
I think we actually did that in another video, actually. I do remember this about insurance. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on with Jeff Bezos.
Oh, yes.
Um,
And Lauren Sanchez, was she really flirting with Mark Zuckerberg? I think she is a bit of a flirt. And her choice of outfit, she's been totally slaughtered by the press for her choice of outfit. But anyway, that's not really very intelligent conversation. What would you like to know?
Oh, when could we turn this into an episode of Hello? No, don't even answer that.
We don't have Hello Magazine over here.
Thank
They
God.
don't
No,
know
but
what you're
you have
talking
every other,
about.
yeah, I bet, but you have other ones, don't you? So, right,
Well, yeah.
let's go with Bezos. Okay, let's start. Have you got him?
Yes, I do.
Is he a Trump fan now?
Are you a Trump fan now? Ooh, no.
Of course he isn't.
I gotta know.
No,
Ooh,
but is
are you,
it politically expedient for him to be associated with Trump now Trump is in power?
is it politically expedient for you to be? Yes, it's good for business.
Right. You see, this is, I mean, everybody gets upset and wonders why, but I mean, these people, these multimillionaires and billionaires, they go with the wind, they follow the money, you know. I've heard recently of a couple of uh, corporations, and the shareholders were asked about, all the fake climate and all this kind of stuff, and they said, we're not interested in that. We're just interested in making money. They don't care who's in power, really. They align themselves with the Democrats when the Democrats are in power, and now the Republicans or the Trumpsters are in power, they'll align themselves with them because not to do so is not smart. And Bezos is I mean, the guy didn't build a huge corporation and everything by not being smart. And it's the same as your other friend, Zuckerberg. So we'll talk to him in a minute. So, is he going to do any massive job cuts across the Amazon platform, or do they run a very tight ship and they don't need to?
Oh, are you going to have any massive job cuts across the Amazon platform? Yeah. And what are those job cuts? They're going to use AI to cut out employees. I'm telling you,
Of
this
course.
is where
I
people
knew
are.
that. I hit the ball up in the air so you could knock it down. I knew he was going to do it. All corporations
Mm,
are going to do it. You can ask any big CEO of any corporation. The number one problem, the number one expense has always been labor.
mm.
Now, in the old days where you had to put a bolt into a hole and then screw it up or do this, that, and the other, where you needed physical people, you needed a lot of people. But we're now moving into the information technology age, of which I've been going on about for quite a while. Um, and if people can be got rid of, and you know, either a robot or a piece of software can do their job, employers are all for it. You know, because
Let's
some of the
ask
big
him this. Yeah, you're totally right. Can I ask him a question? Are you concentrating because he's doing this whole mission space, whatever. Are you building your own robotics program in order to replace humans with robots? No. They've contracted companies and they've invested money in robotics design specifically catered to Amazon. Are you still thinking of doing the drone drops? Oh, yeah. And that is huge for them. Is that your biggest cost expense right now? Is the delivery? Yes. So if they can wipe out having delivery drivers, and warehouse, is it the warehouse? Not so much the warehouse workers. It's the biggest expense is the deliveries, the maintenance, the trucks, the people, the problems, the insurance costs to have these people on the road. That's why they want to go to drone deliveries.
right. Um, okay. All right. Well, it's not. No, it doesn't really surprise me. So let's pop up with what's his Zuckerberg. I think we've asked him this question, but you wanted to.
Yeah, you know what? I have another question. Is Uber going to sustain itself? I don't think so. Going out in the future, unless Uber pivots and makes a mass investment on driverless cars, it's not going to be able to sustain itself.
Well, driverless cars will be held back until God knows how long because of the insurance.
Mm.
Insurance companies are absolutely petrified of driverless cars. Um, I suppose if every car was driverless, which of course will never not going to happen in our lifetime, but if they were, that's one thing. But where humans are involved, and therefore the liability is, you know, is. I mean, I know from over here that the reason they're scared of electric vehicles, especially Tesla, is because they already have the software for it to be driverless. Well, it's okay, you have a driverless car, sorry, a driverless car, or you can have it on autopilot. But the problem is you've got everybody else around you who are not in driverless cars. So, you know, insurance implications are off the scale.
It is, but the only way that people are going to survive this, what's coming, and I mean financially, is you're going to have to pivot. You're going to have to be able to go, and this is exactly what Bezos, Zuckerberg, all of these guys are doing. That's why they're so successful. They can go in one direction, turn on a dime, and go in another direction immediately. And people are going to have to be able to adopt this approach in order to survive, or you're
Mm.
going to end up on universal basic income. You don't want to be there. It's like being on food stamps. You don't get high quality food. You're not going to get the best of everything. You're going to barely survive. And you're going to have the government telling you what to do all the time because now they're responsible for paying for your existence and you are beholden to them. That's not where people need to be. This isn't fear porn or whatever somebody put in the comments. This is a fact. This is where we're going. And again, now, even with Trump's first week in office, we're seeing it just rapid fire taking off. Okay, so what would you like to know about Zuckerberg? I know there's some questions on the Patreon for Zuckerberg.
Oh, right. Okay. Did you send me those? Let me have a look.
They're on the Patreon. What
I'm
would
not
you
on.
like to know
I'm not
about
on the
Zuckerberg?
Patreon, Liz. You have to send me the stuff that's on the page. I'm only on
Uh-oh.
Discord.
Okay, I've got the questions. What would you like to know, Mr. Shakespeare?
Okay, right. Thanks for sending me those. Right. Okay, let's read some of the questions. Why did he build a secret bunker? Well, it can't be secret if people know about it in Hawaii. Why did he build a bunker in Hawaii?
Why did you build a bunker in Hawaii? It's my safe zone.
He does realize that Russian supersonic missiles can penetrate any bunker. Does he know that?
You realize that Russian supersonic missiles can penetrate any bunker. He wasn't aware of that fact.
Good old Mr. Shakespeare to the rescue then. Um, right. What plans does he have with Meta and virtual reality?
Ooh, what plans do you have with Meta and virtual reality? He wants to bring Meta into the future. As I'm tuned into him now, Facebook is struggling. Meta is struggling. They're struggling to stay relevant. They don't know how. They
Right.
sort of box themselves into a corner by only offering one real product, right? It's not like where you've got Elon Musk doing this and somebody doing that and this, that. You got lots of irons in the fire. That's not Zuckerberg. He only seems to focus on this one thing. And what Spirit are telling me, it's going to be the demise because unless he can create more, I don't feel that they have a lot of money. I feel that they're running out of money.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Well, I
getting.
mean, yeah, okay. So Zuckerberg, I mean, Facebook bought WhatsApp, which is probably the best messenger service currently available to most people. And then they bought Instagram. Not that I use Instagram, but I mean, a lot of people have used it in the past. Facebook is a bit of a dinosaur, even though it's still quite good. I mean, the problem with Facebook, why he ruined Facebook, is of course he went down the censorship and woke route. So a lot of people dropped it, and even now, there's still censorship all over. Not as bad as Google's YouTube, but there is still censorship all over uh, Facebook. So he needs to follow a leaf out of Elon Musk and get rid of all of that. That will make more people use it.
Well, let's ask him this question. Why have you now decided to lift the controls, the censorship controls on the platform? Why have you decided now? Well, he says this is what he always wanted to do. But why did you do it in the first place? Because he was under fire from Congress and the political parties that he was going to be shut down unless he did put censorship in place. They forced him to put censorship in place. And he is saying to me that he had no choice but to censor. I'm like, do you know how many people I know have been in Facebook jail? And he's laughing at me. And I'm saying, but sometimes that they didn't even really do anything wrong. He's aware of that.
So, okay. I mean, all right. So did he? Okay. I mean, I know he went along with what basically the Biden regime wanted him to do. Um, was he afraid for the? Did he think that if he didn't do it, then the Biden regime would just wreck his company?
Did you think that well, I think it was before Biden's. I think was it before he's saying it was like more Obama era.
Okay,
Uh,
well, Obama, Biden, the same thing. They're the same people.
did you think that they were going to wreck your company? Yeah, they were going to take me out of business. Yes. And I'm going to say this. Do you think that they would have done it by lawfare? Oh, they would have done it by whatever means possible they could do. And what he's just said, an executive order to shut me down.
Yeah. I think this is the thing that people don't realize. The terrifying power of the state, especially America. Well, most countries actually, but especially America, to American citizens, companies, and everything, because they've got so big, and they will wreck anything that if you don't follow their narrative. Does he think? Does he like Donald Trump?
Do you like Donald Trump? He loves Trump.
Right. So is this change of heart and attitude heartfelt, or is he just being politically expedient, or is he just doing it for the bottom line and mental?
Are you being politically expedient? No, he's a Republican,
Right.
secret Republican.
So he's happy to go along with, because obviously under Trump's regime, he's less likely to be shut down. He's more likely to be encouraged, especially if he reduces censorship and all the things that, Americans are more used to.
So let's ask this question of YouTube. I'm going to group YouTube as an entity. Are you going to calm down some of or scale back some of the censorship? At the moment, they have no plans to do that.
No. Well, hopefully Google will be broken up in some heavy antitrust procedures against them. That would be good.
Will Google be broken up with heavy antitrust procedures against them? That's a no.
Pity. Okay.
Sorry. But some censorship is necessary.
Some censorship is necessary. Yes, I agree. But, saying I don't like somebody or that there are only two genders or something like that, people should be, especially now that's the official government policy again in the US, especially from the federal point of view. But saying things like that and, saying that you don't like somebody or you don't like their opinion should not be censored. I mean, the Americans have the First Amendment for a very big reason. Nowhere else in the world has the protection that the Constitution, the original Constitution, affords. And no, we don't want a new made up constitution called a living constitution where they make it up and just change it as they go along. We don't want that. The original one was very sound, put in place for very good reasons, you know, most of which were against the British.
Yeah.
Which billionaires is he good friends with? I've put great friends here. Somebody's put, but I mean, just good friends.
Are
Does he,
you friends with Elon Musk? No. Are you friends with Trump? He wants to be.
is
He
he friends
wishes
with,
Trump would
what
have
about
appointed
Bezos?
him.
Is he friends with Bezos?
Are you friends with Bezos? Yes.
Does he think he'll ever sell Facebook or sorry, Meta?
Do you think he'll ever sell Meta? No,
Fair enough.
not at the moment. Not according to today's personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. That's a no.
So that's actually a good thing. So he still believes in his product and things like that. What does he think Facebook or Meta will look like in 10 years' time?
What do you think Facebook or Meta will look like in 10
Or and
years?
then the follow-up question for me is, what does he hope that it will be in 10 years' time?
What do you hope it will be in 10 years' time? He wants it to be the supreme platform, as in bigger than Instagram, bigger than TikTok, bigger than YouTube. I mean, that's where he hopes for it to be. That's not going to happen. I feel what I'm getting from Spirit is Facebook is more of a generational thing. The younger generations are not really interested in Facebook. They're
No,
moving on to bigger, faster things. They don't really like comments and conversation, right? That's more older generation, not younger generation. They just want to put things out there and just that's it, right? You either like it or you don't. They don't want a discussion about it. They don't want to hear your opinion about it. So that's where he's going to lose out. I feel he's not enticing the younger generations. It's not appealing.
no.
Uh, that's what I'm getting.
So, okay. And we'll do a probe on this, but heads up, people, there's a good video that I recommend people watch. It's on the Duran channel, so search on YouTube for the Duran. And there's an interview. Let me find it. I think it's with the guy called Shutterfly or something like that. This guy, I believe, is Canadian. He may be American, but he sounds more Canadian to me. Um, he's a journalist. He's been living in China for 5 years, and he basically is reporting on, what the Chinese are up to. He's an accredited journalist, so he goes to meetings, all sorts of stuff. So um, this is what you are up against. This is what he is up against. This is what all the US tech giants are up against. This is what all the US automotive industries are up against. The unstoppable engine of China. I mean, the numbers coming out there, I won't spoil it for everybody, and we will do a probe on it later on, but people really, really, really should watch it. The numbers are just mind-blowing. And their attitude to everything, one of the things that came out was the Communist Party, they're worried about the Communist Party, and they think there's, 20 people or 30 people that matter. Well, there's 12.5 million people in the party or something, some ridiculous amount of the number, I can't remember. And all of these people want, a capitalist future, which is weird because they're coming. I mean, it's just amazing the information that came out. So sorry about that. Right. He and his wife, Zuckerberg and his wife, have several organizations, the Giving Pledge, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, etc. So the question from the Discord, or sorry, from the Patreon was, are these just tax haven or shell corporations? Are they really going to transfer 99% of their Facebook shares currently valued at more than 45 billion? So the question is the Giving Pledge the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative? I'm assuming his wife is called Chan or something. So are they tax havens, shells, or are they really going to transfer most of their wealth to these other organizations?
You planning to transfer your wealth to these other organizations? That's the plan. Is it a tax haven? Somewhat, yes.
Okay, but I mean, is he being really? My question would be a follow-up. Is he going to be? I mean, there's plenty of people in the past, billionaires that have donated their wealth to, charitable causes, being very philanthropic on the basis that, you can't take it with you. So, you leave enough for your family or whatever, but your money can do more good. Is that his plan?
Your plan that the money can do more good? No. What do you mean that to do more good?
Well, I don't know what these organizations are. So one of them's called the Giving Pledge, one of them's called the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, and there's an etc. on that. So there must be more of them. So I mean, I assume these are set up for philanthropic.
Is it about these initiatives? Have you donated? They've donated quite a bit, but you're
Right.
planning to hand most of it over? No,
Okay.
they're not planning to hand most of it over. Are you gonna hand over 99% of the share? No, no.
But what percentage is he
Very
planning on?
most, it would be 30%.
Well, that's still pretty good. You know, that's laudable. I think that's a good thing. Okay. Next question, does he ever consult or believe in with psychics and mediums?
Oh no, here we go again. Do you ever
My question
consult
is from here.
or believe in psychics and mediums? Yes, he does.
Ooh, does he consult with them?
Do you consult with them? He has done, yes. Psychics? No, mediums. What about remote viewers? Yes.
Ooh. Is he aware of Liz Cross?
Are you aware of Psychic Liz Cross? No.
Could be. Okay. Well, we'll put that out in the ether and you might get a phone call from
I doubt it now that I've just exposed
him.
that he's only going to give 30% and not 99. Yeah, won't be calling her, mate.
Okay, but he's a billionaire, so 30% of those two. All right. Next question. Apparently he must have said this because someone's asking. I don't know. What did he mean by adding more masculine energy into the workplace? Is he planning? So the question is two parts. What did he mean by that? And also, is he then planning on cutting female employees, which are already apparently a small minority in tech?
What do you mean by Making a more cutting or making a more masculine workplace?
Adding more masculine energy into the workplace and then cutting. So is that's part of it. What did he mean by that? And then the second part is he then planning on cutting female employees? So I suppose the
Ooh.
logic there is if there's less female employees, there's more masculine energy because the balance is more in the male side than the female side. I think that was what the questioner is asking. As I
He
said,
just said to me, masculine energy is more competitive and it's more productive.
well, yeah, because of testosterone, of course. Okay. Um,
Well, it's good for him. It's good for business, right?
yeah.
If you
Yeah.
have more productive employees. So that is his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. He
Mm,
likes for people to be competitive. He likes for them to have that real go-getter type of energy where they're wanting to meet these deadlines, get things done, come up with new ideas, be recognized for their good work.
right.
That's what he means by the masculine energy. Does the feminine energy not do that? No. He's telling me no.
Okay. Uh, Next question. Has he shared um our, and I'm assuming the questioner means sort of Facebook or something. Has he shared personal data to our foreign enemies to benefit financially?
Ooh, what a juicy question. Have you shared personal data from Meta, Facebook to foreign enemies for money? No, that was a good question.
I don't think we do that. That doesn't sound like him. Next part of that question, or sorry, next part of the question on the same thing was, will he be punished? I'm not sure who we are going to ask about this. Um, so the question is, will he be punished for the criminal behavior that caused election interference and malinformation of COVID vaccines and treatment? But I mean,
Ooh,
who do
will
we
he
ask
be?
about that? Not him. Well, unless we put him out in the future.
No, I'm gonna ask Spirit. Will he be punished for that? No,
Okay.
but I feel he and RFK Jr. are gonna have a few heated run-ins. I really do. I feel
Sure.
like RFK Jr. is coming after him.
Well,
That's
yeah,
part of the
he
reason.
did.
Let's ask
Yeah,
this
I mean,
question.
his platform was used as a, yes. Well, we won't go into that, what it was used for.
Well, let's ask this question. Is that if our do you know that RFK Jr. is coming after me, coming after you? No, he doesn't know that, right? Is that part of the reason you're trying to align yourself with Trump because your platform was used um to shut people up about vaccines and all sort. He knows that he's aware of that, but he doesn't know that RFK, specifically RFK Jr., is coming for him. RFK, are you planning to go after? He's going after him. Yeah, big time. So watch that unfold. That'll be another hit for Liz Cross right there. He's coming after Facebook. He is so is.
Okay. Uh, right. So we've partly covered this, but I'll just spell it out because someone's actually asked the full question. So why is he playing nice with Trump now? Question. He tried through censorship to destroy Trump, and now they're friends? Question. And why did he then donate $1 million to his inauguration? What does he hope to get out of it? So there's actually four parts to the one question. First part, why is he playing nice with Trump now?
Why are you playing nice with Trump now? It's good for business.
Okay,
That's a
okay.
common
Well, I
theme we're
can
getting.
easily accept that because so many people do that. He tried through censorship to destroy Trump, and now they're friends? Question mark.
You tried through censorship to destroy Trump. Yeah, it's whatever that's what the Democratic Party, did they tell you? Did they instruct you to do that? Yes, they did.
Uh, why did he donate $1 million to his inauguration?
Why did you donate $1 million to Trump's inauguration? so he could get a seat.
Right. Okay. Well, again, I don't have a problem with that. Why wouldn't he? He's a hugely influential businessman. Why wouldn't he do stuff out of that? You know. Okay. Um, well, this is going on longer than I thought. Was he behind the scenes lobbying for a TikTok ban?
Were you behind the scenes lobbying for a TikTok ban? No.
Okay, now we understand that was under a court order to be stopped. Trump has said that he's not going to enforce it, and there isn't a problem. One thing people need to understand about TikTok, 7 million Americans benefit from it from a business point of view. If you shut down TikTok, that will affect so many Americans. So thank God they haven't shut it down. That's good. Okay. The stuff about Facebook from the Winklevoss twins. I think we've what was his thoughts? Now Biden's gone. What was his thoughts on Biden?
What were your thoughts on Biden? He was an okay president. Look, he's looking at it from a standpoint of they left him alone.
Well, they left him alone because he did what he did the government bidding.
Yeah.
He basically turned his uh, empire into almost an attack empire, and okay, all right. Don't think much more. There's some wacky questions on here, which I'm not going to.
Is he a lizard alien from the Lizard Alien Federation? No. You always have to ask that.
You get quite a lot of that. Oh, this is a good question. What is Facebook's connection to DARPA's Life Log project, which was officially cancelled, quote unquote, on the same day of Facebook's creation? So what's Facebook's connection, and it was Facebook in those days, connection to DARPA, Life Log project?
What was your connection to DARPA? He says that's dead in the water.
We know that, but was there any connection to their Life Log project?
Was there any connection to there was a connection. I feel that they were supposed to technologically fuel it in some way, like the power, something to do with like powering it or fueling it, maybe adding to that grid, but that died out.
Okay.
Listen, this guy, he just wants to do business. It's very clear to me from this probe. He wants to be left alone. He wants to do business. He knows what it's like to be in court. He knows what it's like to have to answer to juries and to Congress. He understands all of that. He doesn't want any part of that. He just wants to be left alone to do business. He will do and say whatever you want him to do as long as you leave him alone to make money. That's the long and the short of it.
Right. And he's not alone in that. There are many business people who think exactly like that. There are many shareholder groups that think exactly like that. They're not interested in all of this other stuff. Okay, I think that's a wrap.
All right, we'll wrap this one up. Brilliant. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the Patreon subscribers for all the questions. We really appreciate it. And also that healthcare sort of road that we went down, that came from the Discord. So thank you so much to all of our subscribers. And thank you, Mr. Shakespeare.